Hello, my name's Ibrahim Hamarani, and I'm here to do a presentation about the different types of puppets. First of all, we've got shadow puppets. So ever since the inception of shadow puppetry, it has continued to be used in this industry, even with all the advances of the technology. Traditional shadow puppets are flat and made out of leather. Areas within the puppet are punched out with sharp knives. These areas suggest facial features and help define clothing. The puppets are made from separate pieces and joined together with a wire or string. They are controlled by long rods and moved behind the white translucent screen made from paper or cloth. A lamp on the puppeteer's side of the stage provides the light. The audience on the other side sees the moving shadows cut out the areas within the figures allow the light to shine through. There are a variety of materials that you could combine for a contemporary shadow puppetry. The materials that one would use would be items such as paper, plastic, wood, colored theatrical lighting, filter, cloth, feathers, and some utensils. Next one we have marionette puppetry. Marionettes has been used throughout ancient Greece. As you can see through the picture to the right of the text, it's an ancient Greek marionette pictures. Marionette puppets are controlled through strings and wires that are suspended from the control bar. People that manipulate the marionettes are called marionettes. While controlling the puppet, marionettes will be hidden using the control bar, which is either horizontal or vertical. How marionettes are made. So there are a variety of steps. It's a very long and complicated puppet making tool. So step one, you should gather materials, all that you need. Materials that you would need will be aluminium, FMIO, clay, some wire that is sturdy but flexible, and something to make the handle for the puppet. These could be like the handle could be made out of pencils or Chinese chopsticks. Step two, you would have to create the skeleton of the puppet, which each section there should be one piece of wire. You may have to shape the wire at the ends to make it look like a loop in order to connect the other pieces of the wire. Step 3. You should start making the understructure. The tin foil should be crumbled and balled against the section of the wire bones. This will give the marionette some substance, and as well as it will act like a muscle to the structure. Step 4. You should now add the shape of the body by using clay for the body parts, or each body parts of the marionette. Step 5. Once you have shaped the clay, you should now bake the body part. The time in an oven. The time you should bake the body part marionettes depends on the manufacturer, so whatever they instruct you to do. So after baking the puppet, you should now connect the sections of the different body sections of the marionette with the loops that you've made from the wire at the end of the sections. And by connecting them, you should have extra wire. And then step 7, you should create a handle for the puppet. You can either make one by joining 2 pencils together into a cross, or you can just simply purchase a pre-made one. Now you will have to attach the strings from the puppet to the handle. The knees and the wrists of the puppet should be attached by having the joint loops of each part of the section tied. Then the head loop should be attached by a string to the center of the handle of the cross. Once the whole body is done, you can add some details by, adding cloth to the puppet, to marionette, to make it decorated, or paints. Moving on to rod puppets, which is a part of the hand puppet section of the whole different types of puppets. Rod puppets come under the section of hand puppets. Hand puppets are usually manipulated by the hand, so you can have like sock puppets, anything to do with the hand that you can manipulate with. The rod puppets are usually made by string and wood wire are what puppets are usually made out of. Rod puppets can be controlled through wire or wooden rods. Rod puppets should usually have a still facial expression, so they should either, you can get many of them like just still happy, or like just a very still facial feature. The rod can be attached to the arms, adding them to move. You can even get special rods, special variant rods that can be attached to certain body parts, which look really cool, like with the eyelids to make them sleep or wake up of the puppet. Rod puppets are usually used in carnivals as well as TV shows like The Muppets. How to make a rod puppet. So this is a very brief and very general way to do it. It's usually you get time to make rod puppets when you're in class as a primary school student. So you should gather some materials, before you start. You would probably need a pencil, a tack board or a cardboard, normal piece of cardboard, scissors, strong tape, usually masking tape, a hole punch, paper fasteners, marks, paints, fabrics, and the rods that can be made out of thin bamboo. Step 2 would be on the tag board or the cardboard, you can draw a character using the pencils or paints. While drawing the character, you have to consider where the moving sections could be. Once you cut out the character and the moving parts from you should cut out the moving parts and from the cardboard. Now attach the rod's moving sections. You can use hot glue to attach the rods, but it would be faster and would make less of a mess if you used masking tape. You can use yarn, wool, or anything like that, fabric, any type of fabric for facial decorations of the puppet. So for my puppet that I chose to do a marionette. The characters that I'm doing is Dom Jom and Mom Jom from Yoggle. At the beginning of the project, I wanted to have Dom Jom and Mom Jom as rod puppets because I didn't feel confident in making a puppet. It's my first time doing this, so I was a bit scared and nervous. And I thought it would be somewhat easier to do. But then I found my inner self, and I wanted to challenge myself. So I decided to make the puppets as marionettes because making marionettes to me is really challenging. Also, I decided them as rod puppets. It would make less time. If I decided them to be rod puppets, it would make less time, and I would look unprofessional compared to what others in my class are making. Another reason why I changed my mind from a rod puppet to a marionette puppet is that the control of the puppet, I found it would be quite challenging, as well as more exciting if I had strings instead of just rods. It would be a bit boring, in my personal opinion. And then this is my reference page. I want to thank you for listening to my presentation.